In the summer of 1980, the world was united by change. We were all turning Japanese.
Turning Japanese is a song that got everybody's attention in the early 80s.
One of the reasons Turning Japanese was so successful was because it was very catchy.
The Vapors' lone hit was as massive as it was mysterious.
People were speculating up the wazoo, like, what does Turning Japanese mean?
The Japanese were singled out, but this song confused people of all nationalities. Let's explore the myths. Myth number 1. Many believe the Vapors were obsessed with Japan.
I think the Vapors were actually just really obsessed with Japan, like Japanaholics.
The theory that the Vapors had a fascination with Japanese culture, I mean, comes across somewhat in the video. There you have a geisha girl, and you got this guy swinging a samurai sword at her.
At the time of the song's popularity, Japanese culture and Japanese products were everywhere. Surely the Vapors were not immune from the Tokyo effect.
So much was coming out that time. We had microwaves, we had VCRs, we had Atari, for God's sake.
The East had come west and brought with it not only video games and fuel-efficient cars, but culture as well. Was this the band's inspiration? Myth number 2. Many believe it's as simple as I love her, but she don't love me.
It was probably more of a love song, a goofy love song.
Turning Japanese was definitely about a love that was not returned. It was not a quid pro quo type thing. I mean, just listen to these lyrics. I've got your picture.
I'd like a million of you over myself.
He can only look at the picture of his girl.
But for this smitten sucker, your standard Polaroid would not suffice. He needs an X-ray of the girl for total body worship.
To take a picture so I can look at you from inside as well.
That meant, oh, this person is so in love with the other person, they not only want to see the outside, but they want to see the inside. They want to love the complete person.
You gotta really love someone to carry a picture of their spleen around, unless you really like spleens. So it could be about a bad case of Japanomania or the lament of a lovesick man. But most people hold firm to a third premise. Turning Japanese is about
masturbation.
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 Myth number 3. It's about holding your sausage hostage.
I remember hearing the rumor that Turning Japanese was about masturbation.
Turning Japanese is right up there with I Touch Myself in the all-time masturbatory jukebox.
But why does Turning Japanese equal masturbate?
When you masturbate, supposedly your eyes squint a bit and you look Japanese.
Your eyes do squint a little bit during, if you're good. At our happiest, we look Japanese.
True or not, this is the myth that launched a million hand shuttles. So let's recap. Turning Japanese could be about a man wrestling with his inner sumo self. Or it could be about a lonely lovesick guy. And there's always the possibility that it's about patting your Robertson. If you thought the song was about an obsession with all things Japanese, okatochi guy. Translation, you're wrong.
It could have been Portuguese, Lebanese, anything that fitted with that phrase. It has nothing to do with the Japanese.
If you latched on to myth number 3, that it's about hand-to-gland combat, you'd be in the majority. But you'd also be wrong.
The first time the idea of masturbation came up is when we were touring America, and the Americans seemed to think that it was written about that was an English phrase for masturbation, which it wasn't.
There's only one choice left. Here's the true spin.
Turning Japanese is a love song about somebody who had lost their girlfriend and was going slowly crazy.
Turning Japanese is just all the the cliches about angst and youth and turning into something that you never expected to.
You write what you know, and songwriter Dave Fenton knew a little something about getting dumped.
A lot of Dave's lyrics were about failed relationships.
David Fenton was going through some sort of relationship problems at the time, and that's this kind of material he was writing.
No sex, no drugs, no wine, no women, no fun, no sin, no you, no wonder it's dark.
The boy sitting in his room with a photograph of the girlfriend that's just left him, feeling isolated and going a bit nutty.
He just has all those emotions going on where you feel that you're turning into another person. You're turning Japanese.
Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so.
So no matter how many people tell you it's about packing the hog, jacking the beanstalk, punching the munchkin, or dishonorable discharge, Turning Japanese is a love song. End of story.
You only got to read the lyrics, it's about a girl.
And that's the true spin on Turning Japanese.